and I'll never quit.
I got to ask you about politics before we finish. You mentioned Roseanne early on, who had a great comeback, but also was a Trump supporter. At least you were a Trump supporter. I'm fascinated to know if you still are.
I am, and I'll let that be the end of it.
That was the end of it. Though I have to say, actually, Kelsey Grammer himself was perfectly happy to go on talking about it. The Paramount Plus PR people, less happy that he talked about it at some length.
So we're really thrilled that you mentioned that on there now.
I'm really thrilled. Anyway, they decided that we'd had plenty of time for our interview. But I should stress that he was absolutely perfectly happy to talk about why he supports Donald Trump, and still does in the coming election.
BBC reporter claims interview with Kelsey Grammer was cut short after he stated his support for Trump. The Frasier actor said he still is a Trump supporter. Frasier star Kelsey Grammer told the BBC that he is still a Trump supporter, which apparently caused the interview to end. The 68-year-old actor originated the role of therapist Dr. Frasier Crane during his stint on Cheers from 1984 to 1993 and starred in the hit sitcom spinoff series Frasier for 11 seasons from 1993 to 2004. Almost 20 years later, Grammer reprised the role in the new Paramount Plus show Frasier, which premiered in October. BBC interviewer Justin Webb spoke to the sitcom star in a recent interview, eventually pivoting to a political question. You mentioned Roseanne early on, who had a great comeback, but also was a Trump supporter. At least you were a Trump supporter. I'm fascinated to know if you still are. I am, and that's about all. Let that be the end of it, Grammer said. Webb told listeners that Grammer was perfectly happy to elaborate on his support for the former president, but the Paramount Plus PR people were less happy that he talked about it. But I should stress that Grammer was actually perfectly happy to talk about why he supports Donald Trump and still does in the coming election, Webb added. Paramount Plus representatives did not immediately respond when reached out for comment about the BBC interview. The majority of the interview was reportedly about other aspects of Grammer's life, ranging from the Frasier reboot to recalling the murder of his younger sister. I spent a good chunk of my lifetime grieving and possibly stopping myself from growing because of that, Grammer told the BBC. In a recent interview with Fox News Digital, Grammer spoke directly about why he helped bring the beloved sitcom back. I wanted to prove to myself and to other people, of course, that Frasier was still interesting and still watchable and still funny, Grammer told Fox News Digital. Those were important parts of it. But also, I thought there were more stories to tell about this character because there's more stories to tell in our own lives.